lot of pressure. Here we go. All right, we're going to start this thing off. I talked about it last segment. It's going to come down between the Eagles and the Packers, and I'm saying the Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champs, they end up with the #1 seed. Okay. The Packers win their division in NFC South and the NFC North, and they are your #2 seed. Okay. Now, #3, I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield leads that offense. And now for the NFC West, the Seattle Seahawks.
I don't hate it.
Mike McDonald. When Kubiak comes over, now the offensive coordinator. I think they're going to be really good on defense as well.
Wait a minute,
take a step in year 2 and win that division.
We're here for bold swings.
Let's go.
I love that.
Let's get to the wild card. Number 5, we have the Commanders. Jaden Daniels in year 2. They can't win the division. The Eagles actually repeat this year, but the Commanders, they get in. Number 6, I'm going with the Detroit Lions. Yes, they've lost their coordinators, but they still get in. Dan Campbell gets them there. All right, number 7.
You tripping.
Wide receiver injuries and all. The 49ers are back in the playoffs with the last pick of the last spot in the playoffs. Number 7 seed. I'm going with the San Francisco.
No Rams. No Rams.
No Rams. I don't have the Rams.
No Rams, no Cardinals.
I don't have the Rams. I like both. I like the Cardinals too.
Dan, what did we say to start the show? Accountability.
There's only 7 spots.
Only 7 can make it.
I can like them all. We all have kids. You like some a little bit more on certain days. It's just the way it goes.
Oh, your kids hopefully not watching.
I
like your list, but no Rams after what last season was and what this offseason is?
Devontae Adams.
Man. Dan Orlovsky, you're
up. Didn't play all training.
All right, I'm pretty much going relatively chalk to J-Mac to start #1. Philadelphia, it's the best roster in football. I completely, while losing Kellen Moore matters, I think Patullo will figure it out, but it's still the best roster. Number 2, the Green Bay Packers. Everyone understands how high I am on this football team. The addition of Micah Parsons. Jordan Love, it's time to go. It's as deep a wide receiver group as there is in the NFL. Number 3, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They are a quiet Super Bowl contender. It could be the best wide receiver room in football. Top 1 through 4 are absolutely sensational and a very, very good offensive line. Number 4, I'm going to Los Angeles Rams. I think it's a legit Super Bowl contender. I think they have a tremendous front 7 defensively, and I really believe Devontae Adams is going to bring a total new wrinkle to their offense pass game wise. Number 5, Detroit Lions. I'm cautious on that one, though. I am, because I'm not going to sit here and tell everybody how great Ben Johnson is and how great Aaron Glenn is and pretend that loss doesn't matter. Or that Frank Ragnow retiring isn't a big deal. But I believe in the culture. I believe in the base. And I believe in Dan Campbell. Number 6, the Minnesota Vikings. It's one of the best rosters in the NFC. I think it's the best coaching combination in the NFC when it comes to Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores. J.J. McCarthy's custom made for that offense. And then number 7, the Washington Commanders. Cautious, again, because what happened last year was magical. A lot of 4th down conversions. Probably not going to carry over. A lot of 4th quarter comebacks. Unlikely to carry over, so that gives me a little bit of hesitation. Seattle is a team that I very much so pondered, and Arizona. I really think Arizona is going to be difficult to play against.
Field, he puts the Vikings in. Jason didn't have the Vikings in. Dan does. Your thoughts on J.J. McCarthy in for Sam Darnold and whether this team misses a beat?
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell has shown us over the past few seasons that, he's got an archetype of quarterback, and sometimes it's a player who's got sort of that depreciated asset vibe to him, right? You know, Sam Darnold last year was left for dead by many, and Kevin O'Connell brought him back to life and helped him earn a $100 deal this offseason. J.J. McCarthy, 10th overall pick. I believe the skill set is 100% there. It's going to be some experience of growing pains. That being said, J.J. McCarthy will be just fine, J-Mac. He's actually one of the least of my worries as far as young quarterbacks go. As far as young quarterbacks go, just because of the coach he's playing with.
I like J.J. McCarthy, and I think me not having him in, he's a young quarterback, and there's a lot of good teams in the NFC, and I just think they just missed the playoffs. My thing was, too, it's hard to just run it back from a year ago and say, all right, the 7 teams that made it last year,
we know that's not going to happen.
Everything's going to go right, and they're all going. There's going to be a team that shocks us, surprises us, and they're a team in the playoffs coming off of a really good year.
2 years ago, the Houston Texans went from the worst record in football to the playoffs. Last year, the Washington Commanders went from the worst team in the NFC to the playoffs.
Yeah, health matters in all this. Who stays healthy?
No doubt about it.
For Minnesota, I firmly believe if J.J. plays average football, this is an NFC championship contender.
Field Yates, you're
My
on
turn.
the hot seat.
I am ready to go. Here we go. Let's make things a clean sweep at the very top as the Philadelphia Eagles, who of course play tonight, take the #1 seed, followed by the Detroit Lions. I can't get over the fact that this team, despite all of the coaching attrition, is still an elite roster. Some question marks going into the year, but I absolutely love the culture that Dan Campbell has instilled in Detroit. There is a belief that that team is due for their Super Bowl season. The Buccaneers, third overall for me. They win the NFC South. This, to me, might be the division winner that I feel most comfortable forecasting. That division feels like theirs for the taking. Yeah, I do.
I like that.
I think the Commanders are going to challenge
push back
Philly,
at that when you're done.
Rams in the NFC West. It's like forever we talked about Sean McVay teams for being offensive juggernauts. They're going to be very good on offense, but man, they are loaded up front on defense. The young talent infusion they have brought to that side of the ball is simply nasty. Packers, fifth overall. This team certainly has all the goods on both sides of the ball and got a huge boost in the form of Micah Parsons. To me, I am curious to see if they can find a dominant passing game weapon. They drafted Matthew Golden 22nd overall to be exactly that. The Commanders, Jaden Daniels, special player who I think every single year gives them a floor of probably 8 or 9 wins with a ceiling much, much higher than that. And then finally, the Vikings, 7th overall. Probably the reason why I have the Vikings a little bit lower than some might expect based off of the talent roster that Dan mentioned is that's a very competitive division. Chicago's going to be legit as well. I can't wait for Monday Night Football. Yeah. That entire division is a slugfest.
Love it. You're the first one who picked the Lions winning the division. Interior offensive line give you a little hesitation.
A little bit, yeah, but you know what? I'm a buyer of Tate Ratledge being one of the more instant I know.
Okay.
And here we go, getting into second-round guard talk of the day of the regular season.
Let me push back on the Bucs thing because I agree with you how good they are.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't think it's a lock because
So who's more
Atlanta's
of a lock?
Philly? No, I just think Atlanta's such an unknown.
Yeah.
If Michael Penix is bonkers, you're like, wait, they're
Carolina. I just think like
those 2 pass rushers that they took.
This is the only division that nobody has mentioned a potential wild card team from. Right? We all just said the Bucs are winning the NFC South and no wild card team from there. I'm not going to blow up your spot.
All 7 teams you picked all made the playoffs last year. Do you have any hesitation that you didn't take a swing to say, hey, we know it's not going to be the case? No. You feel good. You feel confident that it's just going to be.
History would tell me that's going to be a ridiculous thing for me to be saying on September 4th, 2025, but I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
Number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to do it again, and I feel like they're going to start it off tonight. Number 2, I've got the Green Bay Packers as well. I think Matt LaFleur and the Packers take over from the Lions in the NFC North. Number 3, I'm going with Sean McVay and the Los Angeles Rams to win the NFC West. And number 4, just like you guys, I'm taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. These are my division winners. Now, for the wild card spots. Number 5, I am a believer in that Kevin O'Connell would not have been able to move on from Sam Darnold, would not have been able to say no to Daniel Jones, would not have been able to just sit there as Aaron Rodgers was waiting in the wings if he didn't love J.J. McCarthy. I feel confident that J.J. and the Vikings are the 5 seed. The number 6 seed, I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
Wow. I think the 49ers are going to say something this year and say, you know what? 2 years ago, we went to overtime in the Super Bowl. Last year, everybody was injured. How about you give us a little grace here and trust the fact that our coaching staff can get this team back to the playoffs?
Can I?
Yeah, go on.
No, you finish the list. I want run defense. Run defense. Who's stopping the run there? In that division,
Understood.
Seattle wants to pound the run.
I have a feeling
we know the Rams will pound the run.
Froggy with the 7th pick.
No, number 7 is not who I have in, it's who I don't.
Ooh.
Number 7, I've got the Washington Commanders.
Okay, all right.
I don't have the Detroit Lions making the playoffs this year.
Wow.
And I don't have the Detroit Lions making the playoffs this year, and I believe that Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson were the 2 best coordinators in all of football last year. And maybe we as a football media and we as football fans don't value the coordinator position enough. And for what Ben Johnson did with that offense, that entire defense was riddled with injuries last year, and Aaron Glenn was able to put it together with scotch tape and Band-Aids. I like the Lions. I love their culture. And, of course, I'm a fan of Jared Goff, having taken a team to the Super Bowl, the NFC Championship, and last year number 1 seed. I just think the NFC is very good. Yeah. And if we're playing the accountability game, I can't put 7 teams in and just say, hey, all teams are in. I don't have the Lions in the playoffs.
That's where I struggled with Detroit. As much as I love Detroit and as much as I root for Detroit, honestly.
As a Lions
player. It's hard for me to do the job and sit here and rave over the past 3 seasons about how ridiculous Ben Johnson has been and think that there's not going to be a decent step back. And if there isn't, God bless Detroit and Dan Campbell for having John Morton on speed dial and plugging him in. And then to sit there and to your point with Aaron Glenn and what he did with the defense that was riddled and kept them alive. And we've talked about this. It wasn't just them. I thought they were as well coached a football team
at positionally.
Antoine Randall to me was a really big loss at the wide receiver group. And
Tanner, what's his last name?
Engstrand.
He's a Jets offensive coordinator.
And I really believe like Frank Ragnall's a significant loss. I think when you lose the best part of your offensive line and the best player at that position, it's just hard
I don't see the
replace.
wheels going off. I see them as like an 8-9 win team. That might not be enough this year.
8 wins would be the wheels coming off for Detroit this year. You don't think after winning 15 last year, like nearly having your win total?
Something too, you talked about them being the best coordinators. They've been the best coordinators for a few years now. So it's like, for Dan Campbell, you've been planning for their exit, knowing that they were going to get a head coaching job.
I hope I'm wrong, because I love that fan base, and they deserve better than how the season ended last year. Let's look at a recap.
I'm here for you, Lions fans. I'm here for you.
You're here. Everybody's got the Eagles as the 1 seed. Everybody has those 4 teams back in the playoffs, but Jason McCourty is the only one with the biggest swing.
What did he do?
I like that.
Nobody has Bears. Nobody has
on
Cowboys. Nobody has Giants.